Gotcha. Ah, that's better.
ProtectYourBubble.com, proud sponsors of Swipe on Sky News.
You're watching Swipe. On the show this week, Virtual Vegas, the tech mimicking the casino experience. A new player joins the video streaming market. And you're going to love our blast from the past in this week's Games Review. Yes, we are in a casino, but this isn't Sky Poker. If you've been watching Swipe for a while, you will have noticed that virtual reality technology has been cropping up quite a bit over the past couple of years. It's been developed for use in video gaming, education, healthcare, the military, and now gambling. Here's Chris.
Software developers are using virtual reality to take online betting to a whole new level. This technology, currently being trialled, plugs punters into a digital casino and gives them the chance to win or lose real money in a manufactured environment.
Virtual reality gives you this sense of presence, of really being in a different place. You can kind of, immediately be teleported to any, whether it's a Las Vegas casino, a casino in Macau, or a casino on the moon or in the past. It's really, there's no limits with virtual reality on what kind of digital environments that you can experience.
VR like this would also make gambling more accessible. Players could participate without leaving their homes. And traditional casinos are already looking at ways to evolve should it take off.
I think how we adapt to changing markets in terms of virtual reality is giving customers choice, the use of mobile being really important. If someone's in a casino playing blackjack, playing position 3, and they want to carry on their gaming experience, you want them to be able to walk away from the table, get out their mobile device, and have the same great experience when they're playing online.
It's not just blackjack and slot machines that are being replicated. This prototype product by a betting company recreates live horse races with users experiencing it all from the jockey's perspective. But some say we should be worried about getting hooked.
This technology does definitely have the potential to be addictive because of the immersive nature of virtual reality. Gambling addicts are seeking that detachment from reality. And the fact that it's unsupervised is an additional cause for concern.
There's no conclusive research yet over the health issues surrounding these products, and how to regulate such a market is still unclear. But these companies are confident the tech is worth the gamble. Chris Cregan, Sky News.
Well, I fancy getting a closer look at some of that tech from Chris's report, so I went and saddled up, or goggled up, to give it a go. Now I'm in the box.
Right, so yeah, race is starting.
I'm on the horse, so you're putting the people betting on the horse they choose.
Exactly, so give a real life experience using GPS.
And they're off. Racing over 1.25 miles then with the red 70 a little bit slow from the starting stalls.
Wow, look at this, here we go. This feels pretty fast, although I'm not doing very well at the moment. What's this down here, this information?
So we also provide extra data like stride length, your position in the race, and also potentially even the horse's heart rate.
The slow starters moves up towards the outside.
Who are you really aiming this experience at? Do you want people to be using it at home or in betting shops?
We can use it in both. We see it as potentially having use in our betting shops and also using the Google Cardboard. Also being able to use it out and about, maybe out at a restaurant, in a pub, at a friend's house. You could even use it at a race course if you haven't got a good view.
Have you faced any criticism yet for perhaps, I don't know, being accused of encouraging gambling among younger people?
No, not at all. We've been praised by the horse racing community for coming up with something that's new and different, but it's just a prototype at this stage. It's not in live launch.
And now making ground towards the outer, Hector's chance from the rear.
Here we go. I can see the finish line.
Cavalier will win from Hector's chance.
Oh dear. I must be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm probably about 9th or 10th. Oh, crossed the line. You're watching Swipe. Coming up, some side-scrolling sneakery in our Games Review. But first, here's a roundup of some of this week's other tech stories. Microsoft has launched Windows 10, the latest edition of its operating system. There's a new web browser. Edge has replaced Internet Explorer, while the Start menu's made a comeback. And for the first time, the software works across all Windows-powered devices. There's a new video streaming app in town, and this one's got David Beckham's celebrity weight and cash behind it. My Eye, developed by a British tech startup, is hoping to rival the likes of live streaming giants Periscope and Meerkat. Forget dieting, there's a crowdfunding project on Indiegogo claiming to be the first weight loss clothing line. The Thin Ice system includes insoles with thermal receptors that trick your metabolism into working in overdrive by making your body think it's cold. There's a vest too, which the makers say you can wear to bed and wake up leaner. Facebook has revealed plans for a solar-powered plane to bring high-speed internet to remote corners of the world using lasers. The unmanned aircraft is expected to fly for several months at a time and hopes to connect hundreds of millions of people to the internet. And now it's time for a different type of gaming. Here's Gav with our weekly review.
So if you like games like Spelunky, then you'll probably really like the Swindle. It's like a steampunk burglary sim, I guess, sort of set in a Victorian-style London, and you're tasked with doing these crazy sort of burglary jobs on procedurally generated levels, so it's different every single time. And your job, over 100 days, is to build your character up to be a really good thief, so you can take on this one massive job and rob Scotland Yard. I love it because it really makes you think about the decisions you make, because you have to go through a level, take as much money as you can, but you can get out with, you can take 10 grand and then think, okay, that's enough for this level, I'm going to go. Or you can sort of hang around and try and get a little tiny bit more, and then what happens is you just become a victim of your own greed and alert the cops, and then you have to deal with that then instead. So anyone who grew up playing games know who Rare are. They did a bunch of games like Banjo-Kazooie, Cameo, Viva Pinata, and they're releasing all of their best games on something called Rare Replay. There's a lot of games to go through as well. Now, they did a lot of Donkey Kong Country games. Those aren't on there. They're sort of the only games that weren't Nintendo, basically, are all on this thing. And they're being released on Xbox One exclusively. I've played through quite a lot of them, and there's just so many. You forget how many amazing games Rare have done. But also what they've done is they've introduced this new snapshot mode, which is kind of like they take the mechanics of a game that you really love, something like Battletoads, and they turn it on its head and make one small part of the game into this crazy challenge mode. So you can go through and play through all of the games like just as they were originally, or you can do these like weird little challenges. I don't know how many hours of gameplay is on there, but it's a lot. Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star, for my money, is probably the best pigeon dating simulator that's out there. Now, it's a really hard sell because you're tasked with going into a school as the only human and everyone else is birds, and you have to sort of make the birds fall in love with you. So you basically go out on dates with them, you romance them, and it sounds mental, but it's crazy how much time I've actually plowed into these relationships, probably more than I have with sort of like real life relationships, which probably says a lot more about me than Hatoful Boyfriend. But it's a really good game, and it's all about the story and it's all about the characters, and even though a lot of the characters you're playing with are pigeons, there's a lot more to them than is in most Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed games, and it's just been released on Vita as well, which is perfect for that because it's all sort of story-based. It's basically a kind of interactive novel where you're making sort of decisions to try and romance these birds. So if you do play on the Tube on a Vita, you're probably going to get into some weird conversations when you have to explain what it is, but it is a great game.
That's it for this week. Don't forget to take a look at Sky News on mobile and iPad for the rest of this week's tech news. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I'll take a stack of 100s, please.
Gotcha. That's better. ProtectYourBubble.com, proud sponsors of Swipe on Sky News.